This is 5 Minute Feng Shui, podcast episode 131, the Feng Shui Body Bagua. Welcome to the 5 Minute Feng Shui podcast, where each week I talk about how to move energy and make money. You'll learn how to create a prosperous home and an abundant life using classical Chinese Feng Shui. I'm your host, Katie Weber, publisher of the Red Lotus Letter, Feng Shui Easing for Wealth. Each week, I'll cover Feng Shui topics that can help you improve your life, share inspiring stories, and always end with 3 easy-to-implement Feng Shui tips that you can put to work right away, and usually in about 5 minutes. Now let's get started on the 5 minutes that could change your life. Hello there, my Feng Shui friend. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We are going to be talking all about Feng Shui for your body. And in fact, the Bagua, which is that octagon, that 8-sided shape that we use as the Feng Shui map, is actually has a relationship to your body. Each sector, whether that's north, south, east, west, or southwest, or southeast, each sector relates to a different person in your family, a different number, a different element, but it also relates to a different part of your body. And I find this a really fun and fascinating part about Feng Shui, because when I look at problems that people tell me that they have with health or something going on in their body or mind, I will often look at what's going on in their house. It's interesting to see how these two areas can kind of overlap. Your health and the bagua of your home have this sort of synergistic kind of experience. What's interesting too is on my last episode, I was talking about my husband and his surgery on his knee. What's interesting is the knee, if you look at the Chinese meridians, which are those lines that run from the bottom of your feet that run through the top of your head, you'll have areas of your body that can relate to one another that don't seem like they're really relatable. And one of the areas that relates to the leg is in the southeast this year. It's legs and hips, and this is where the 5 yellow is, and that's an area where my husband is having his surgery. So you actually can find sometimes that you will have problems that will come up. Let's say like wherever the 7-star flies. I know somebody in my Feng Shui group said that I was mentioning about my husband was having surgery, and she said her son had his wisdom teeth taken out. And this was because the 7-star or the surgery star was moving into the north in May. And this can cause you to have problems with your teeth because the 7 relates to teeth. And I find that very interesting. So whoever is in the south or the north sector, like my husband, our bedroom is in the north sector. Well, he's getting surgery. So the stars can affect you as well as the sector. And what's interesting is my husband also, we have the 2-star is in the north corner for the entire year. And my husband just came down with this diverticulitis. So, oh my gosh, he has had a year already, I will tell you. But, we've got great doctors and he's getting better and everything is, we're getting it fixed. But he's really taken the brunt of the 2-star and the 7-star that we've had this month in May. And I know that he'll be glad once his leg is completely healed and he's walking like he would like to have been for the past few years. So it's all good, but it's really interesting when you look at it from that perspective. You look at what's going on in your health and what's going on in your life, and you look at it from the energies that are there, the way that the energy map rolls out in your particular home. So let's just dive on in and start talking about the Bagua body map. Now we know the Bagua map is widely used to apply Feng Shui to our home and determine where our love or wealth or opportunity or career sectors are found. But we can also apply that to our body because each sector, as I mentioned earlier, corresponds to a portion of our body. So when we have a problem in a part of our home, like I was talking about this year, the affliction in the north corner, you can often, many times, find that this problem shows up in your health. Now, each part of the body has a corresponding element as well. So, for instance, wood is the element of the feet and of the liver. And if there's an element such as an air conditioning condenser, which is metal, if it comes in contact with the east corner, then maybe you will experience problems with your feet or ankles. Sometimes just doing a little feng shui detective work can find problems with your health more quickly than seeing a doctor. Now, of course, all medical problems should be treated, and this isn't intended as medical advice, but really is about a better way to understand how your health can be affected and how it can show up in your life and how your home relates to your body. It shows us too, really, just how much we are part of our homes and how our homes can extend into our lives, even into our physical lives. I find it just utterly fascinating. So we want to look for missing corners or elements that can harm the elements associated with that each corner. So and the body part that's affected, to see if we can find clues for what might be going on with your health. So for instance, one time I was on a consultation and the southwest corner of this particular home was missing. And the client told me that he had known that this was a missing corner, and he was told to put golf tees in outline the house, the corner where the southwest corner that was missing, and outline it, punch those golf tees in the ground to kind of make a like an outline of where that corner would have been finished off. And I went, ooh. I said, ooh, that's pokey things in the stomach. I said that like sharp pains in the stomach. I thought, ooh, if you're sending pokey things into this southwest corner, that can't be good. I said, and when I flinched and said, ooh, pokey things in my stomach, he goes, oh my God, I did that, and my wife had gallbladder problems, and she ended up having her gallbladder taken out. And I felt bad for saying it, but at the same time, it was fascinating to see that actually happened, and you could see this sort of direct impact. Now, we're going to go sector by sector and talk about each body part and how you can find that in your house. So let's start with the head. This is ruled by the northwest corner. So if you have sinus problems, maybe migraine, headaches, a good place to look for difficulties with your head is in the northwest corner. Even psychological issues like worry or extreme stress can show up as problems in the northwest corner. This corner is destroyed by fire and weakened by water. So if you have a northwest kitchen, you've got both water and fire in there. If you have chronic migraines, pains in your head, difficulties in your head, this is where you want to look in your home, is that northwest corner. So if you've got water or fire in this corner, you want to boost that metal energy of the northwest by adding earth, because earth produces metal. So this could be a crystal bowl, a ceramic object, some gems or crystals. Metal is also an element that will also perk up this sector. I had a client once, I could see that she was having some health concerns in this one area because she had her feng shui chart. She had a difficult energy there, and I could see where like within a couple of months there was going to be a combination that could really create some severe problems. And as it turned out, she ended up having a brain tumor, and it was operated on, and she's recovered, but she had to learn to talk and do a lot of things all over again. But this is a really important area to look for any kind of problems with the head. So check out the northwest corner. You're going to improve it so if you've got something there that is a fireplace or a kitchen or a bathroom, then you're going to activate the northwest corner of your living room. And this goes for every sector that we're going to be talking about. If you have a problem in one of those areas of your home, then you're going to want to boost that corner of your living room or of your bedroom or your bedroom and living room. So in the instance where you have like a missing corner, this would be so let's say your southwest corner is missing in your home, then you are going to add some crystal elements to the southwest corner of your bedroom and the southwest corner of your living room, or maybe a lamp or something like that. Anyhow, that's the fix. So if you can't, we can't just pick up air conditioning units and plunk them somewhere else. But what we can do is activate that corner of our home that will help give some good energy back to the corner that has a difficulty or some kind of a problem. Now let's talk about the north. Now the north relates to the ears and also the kidneys. Now problems with the ears can show up as like tinnitus, ear infections, or allergies related to the ears. Now in Chinese medicine, the ears are also considered the external opening to the kidneys. And kidneys can also fall along the same meridian lines as the ears. So it's no surprise that the north corner of the home relates to the water element. And certainly kidneys are water producing, right? And the north element, the north corner relates to our ability to make an income for our salary or business. And problems in the kidneys can also create problems with money or emotions. Water is emotions as well. So if you're finding that you're having frequent ear, kidney, or bladder infections, there could be a problem in the north corner of your home. So this is a good place also to look for issues that are related to depression or despondency, because excess water can also create that depression and depressive outlook. And this is something we want to look at as well. So what do we look for? Large, oversized plants or big pieces of wooden furniture in the north corner of your home will drain the energy of the ears and the kidneys. And it's the same thing is true in earth objects, like boulders, stone walls, big ceramic vases. We don't want to have a big tree in the north corner of our living room, because that'll put stress and strain on our ears. It'll put stress and strain on our emotions and as well as our income. It could actually just dry up your income. So if you've got plants in the north corner of your living room or your home, it's better to move those away. The other thing is, if you have a big stone object, whether that's boulders or walls or ceramic vases, something like that, that you're going to want to see if you can move those. If you can, if it's a wall, obviously you can't pick that up. Then what we'll want to do is to create more beneficial energy for your ears or your kidneys or for your outlook. We want to add metal or water in the north corner of your home. This will help to balance any excess earth or wood located here. And this will help to kind of smooth out any depression that you might be having. Of course, always see your doctor. I feel like I have to say this. I know if I had my attorney in Austin listening, he'd say, you need to make disclaimers. So there's my disclaimer. So make sure that if you have any plants, groupings of plants, like large plants in the north portion of your home, that maybe you move them to another area. That will help, and you can add water elements. One of my favorite things to add in the north corner of my living room is always a conch shell. This is great feng shui. It's a great symbol, has that water element, and it creates that flow, because water and earth elements block the flow of water energy. Just like we build a dam to stop water, or we plant grass, a landscaped area will help diffuse like flooding and rainwater faster than something like a parking lot, right? Because the water just runs away. But plants and grass are a great way to diffuse some of that energy. All right, so now let's talk about the Northeast. Now, the Northeast is related to the hands and also the thinking mind. And so let's talk about the hands. The Northeast sector is a sector that's ruled by the earth. So that earth element. When we think of earth, we think of dirt, we think of bricks, we think of stones, that kind of thing. And it's associated with the mind, with thinking, learning, and making good decisions. This is also the sector that corresponds to the hands, as I mentioned, and wrists as well. Many times signs of dementia is also seen in the handwriting first thing. It's one of those things that show up through the hand. It's interesting how the health of the mind comes out in the health of the hand many times. So look at that handwriting, see if there's any change. I know that if I dot I's, I have a tendency to not dot them right over the I. And I read that that's also a symptom of your mind being lazy, and to dot your I right over the I. So I try to focus on that to keep my mind in good mental health. Now, think about problems with your hands, like arthritis. This can be associated with having excess metal or wood in the northeast corner of your house. Many times I see people with arthritis in the hands. They may have an air conditioning unit, condensing units in the northeast corner. Maybe they have a big metal fence or something that's big and metallic in the northeast corner, and that just drains the energy. So if you can add some more earth energy in the northeast corner of your living room, that will help. I do know also a broken wrist or fingers can often sometimes indicate a big decision that's being put off. I know I had a big decision to make and I didn't want to make it, and I ended up breaking my wrist, and then I had to make it. So, life has a way. It gets you to do what it needs you to do, even if you don't want to. So try to add some earth element to the northeast corner of your home or your living room. Now, the other element that feeds and nourishes the earth element is fire. You can add lights, you can add red colors to help nourish the earth energy of the northeast, and also improve your hand health and help you clear your thinking too. Or if you've got arthritis there, just having that extra bit of fire energy, red colors, and lighting will help that. Now let's move on to the east. The east is a corner of health in general. And what's interesting is in Chinese medicine, many of the meridians that we talk about, linking all areas of our health, run from the bottom of the feet. So it's interesting that feet are in the health sector. The other area that's in the health sector is the liver. So your feet and your liver are all they're all pertain to the east corner and the wood element. Now, a common belief in Chinese medicine that anger issues can come up when the liver is out of balance. And many times problems show up in the feet and ankles as a sign of our overall health. Like, sores on the feet of somebody with diabetes, and breaking an ankle or pain in the feet or toes can sometimes indicate a fear of stepping out into a new way of being, or maybe taking a big step in life. If there is excess fire or metal, such as a fireplace in the east corner of your house, we want to add water here to control that metal or fire and to help the wood energy to feed and support your feet or liver. And I really like to see some plants added to the east corner of your living room, of your home. A pretty garden is a wonderful way to strengthen your health, strengthen your feet, and strengthen your liver. And this is one area where I think if you spend time gardening, if you're feeling angry, just get good and tired from digging holes and planting plants. That'll take some of the fire out of you and make you feel better too, because you see some pretty plants. I love to plant and garden, and it's a great way to add something to your home as well that feeds your health. So I love that very much. Let's talk about the southeast. This is the wealth corner, right? This is our assets. These are our investments, stocks and savings accounts, that kind of thing. This corner relates to legs and buttocks. So your upper hip and your backside and your thighs. Now, like the east, the southeast is also a wood element, and this corner is associated with your legs and thighs. What's interesting, this is actually an area of power. When you think about how runners, like especially in the Olympics, when you see sprinters, they usually have these very well-developed hip and thigh and buttock area. And that's because this is a seat of power. This is interesting that it combines with the money and creative energy, because this is what makes us move this area, and that makes us stand upright, makes us able to run and to walk and to get from point A to point B. And this is, interestingly, associated with accumulating wealth. This is a power center for us. Now, when you have problems with your legs or your buttocks, this can range from injuries to varicose veins or sciatica. Like the East, it's a good idea to look for metal or fire in this corner of your home. These elements can create problems that show up in your life that create a problem with an inability to retain money, make good investments, or see a growing savings account. This area needs water. This is the element that will feed the Southeast and that it needs. So blue colors, shells, water fountains, anything that relates to water, fish images, these are all good ways to support the Southeast corner, because this is the part of the body that supports you and that builds your bank account. So pay close attention to that Southeast corner for your own health, for your leg health, and for your creative ability and your financial and your physical power. All right, let's talk about the south corner. The south is a fire element, and it relates to the eyes and to the heart. And you know what it is. We fall in love through our eyes, right? We eat with our eyes first. It goes straight to our heart. When we see something that looks really good, a beautiful piece of chocolate cake, our eyes swell and our heart swells, and then our stomach is ready to go. But this fire element really is what gets us moving and energizes us. Fire is the ruling element of all south sectors. So when something is out of balance in the south corner, it can show up as a problem with your vision. It could be an eye infection, or you might have problems with your heart, like arrhythmia or even a heart attack. Now, when water or earth are located here, health problems can ensue that are related to the eyes and to the heart. And obviously, because this is an area associated with fire, other health problems can show up, like low metabolism or even just a lack of zest for living. Now, you can pep up your heart and your outlook and eyes by adding colorful elements to the south corner of your living room into your home. Bright lighting, red colors, these will all perk up this corner of your home or living room and give your life more zip. So work on adding candles and anything that has sort of an upward shape, like a triangle that points up. These are all wonderful ways to improve your heart health. Think about your heart too in terms of what you see. Your heart, what is the saying? What we see is what we get. And what we want to see is something beautiful and uplifting, because it helps our heart. I know 2 years ago, Tim and I went to France, and we went to Venice. We went to Paris, and we went to the Champagne region, and we went to Venice. And I will tell you, my eyes were so full of the Louvre and Versailles and the canals of Venice, it made my heart full. Never underestimate what you see and how it affects your heart and your outlook and your zeal for life. And because beauty doesn't just lift our eyes, it lifts our hearts too. So make sure that you work on creating beautiful views in your home that lift your spirits. Take in plenty of vistas and beautiful sights, like visiting a museum, looking at beautiful gardens, enjoying beautiful artwork. Seeing beautiful artwork and performances is really uplifting for the heart and the eyes and your spirit. You can also wear red lipstick to help perk up a pervasive kind of blah feeling. I like red. Red is a great color when you feel like you just need a little extra luck and maybe some protection and a little more just zeal. I love red. It's a great color, and that fire energy is so important for us and good for building appetite too. And speaking of appetite, we're on the southwest corner now. This is the love corner, the romance corner, and it's also the stomach and abdominal area. You know the old saying that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach is absolutely true. And for that matter, it's true for everyone. When we're fed, it feeds our heart and makes our heart full. And just think about your grandmother and the favorite cookies she would make for you, or your mom's favorite casserole, or whatever it is that someone made for you. This area it pertains to that gut sense. It's associated with how you feel in your gut. We think about like the person who cooks so many times is this is the person that gives us that gut sense, to trust our gut. And because women give birth, it's also the corner that represents the whole abdominal region, including your reproductive organs. But it also applies to men as well, even though they don't bear children. It's still, this area is all about basically from just under your breasts all the way down to where your top of your thighs meet. So this is that whole series of, you could have problems in a wide area ranging from constipation, hemorrhoids, hysterectomy. When this area of the southwest corner of your home is missing or has an excess of metal or plants, it can hit you in the stomach. For example, excess clutter in this area can result in problems with the elimination system. You want to make sure that you keep the southwest corner of your home clear and clutter-free, especially if you've got something like IBS or you have stomach upsets like diverticulitis. This will help your stomach and your abdominal area work more efficiently and effectively. You can add lighting to the southwest corner of your home, your garden, or your living room. This will help to boost your hardworking stomach and give your abdominal region some much needed fire. Fire is what helps us take food that is in our abdomen and turn it into energy, right? And we also need to have a healthy elimination system. We also need to have a healthy reproductive system. We also need to have that healthy gut. And when I say gut, I mean the part of you that responds like when someone tells you bad news and your stomach falls, right? When we hear emotional things, many times we feel in our stomach, or if someone's telling us something that we don't quite believe, we get a feeling, a gnawing, a knot, some kind of a sensation in the stomach that says, that's not right, or I'm concerned about this. So pay close attention to the southwest corner. Very important that you do not have any major, like big plants in this corner. It's wood energy or big furniture, big wooden pieces of furniture. Wood destroys that energy of the southwest. And what we want over there is we also don't want to have metal. So wood and metal both drain and harm the southwest corner. Instead, what we want to have is a fire element there. That could be candles, that can be bright lights, that could be red colors. We want to, and earth elements like crystal bowls or vases. Those are all wonderful items to have in the southwest corner that will help your stomach and your abdominal area. It's so important if you have IBS to pay close attention to the southwest corner. All right, now let's move on to our last sector, and that is the west. Now, this is the area that relates to the mouth and the lungs. In this metal-related sector, the body can show up with problems with like cold sores, tooth problems like cavities, or you need root canals, bleeding gums. It can also show up in the lungs, like problems breathing, frequent respiratory infections, the flu, chronic cough, COVID. Yes, COVID. This is the 7-star rules is the number, or the 7 is the number of the west sector, and that is actually the number that related to COVID. And we had that in the center sector last year, and we had COVID. So, and this was all kinds of problems with the lungs, right? Now, this corner of your home should be free of excess water elements and fire. Because if you've got water elements or fire, maybe you've got a bathroom there, maybe you've got a fireplace there. when those problems, or when those areas have or the west area has these like bathroom or kitchen, health problems could be more frequent. You may find that you just get sick more often. You want to bolster the mouth and the lungs by adding more metal to the west corner of your living room. Now, because the metal is taken from earth, earth supports metal. So you can also add, earth-related elements like crystals or bowls or vases or anything made of earthenware, stones. This is the area where if you want to promote health in the lungs and in the mouth, then you definitely want to make sure you get some earth elements or some metal elements in the west corner. I personally like seeing a pendulum clock or some type of moving metal. Whether that's a wind chime, you could have a wind chime there. That's a wonderful way to add that metal energy that helps the mouth and helps the lungs. Well, there you go. We talked about all the corners. We talked about health issues. This is an important aspect of Feng Shui, and something that we don't talk as much about. The body parts, we don't think about it as often, and how each part of the Bagua can actually relate to each part of our body, and how it can show up in our house. Now, remember, as I mentioned to you earlier, make sure that if you have any afflictions in these areas, like I said, you can't just pick up a fireplace and move it. We can't just pick up our kitchen and move it, and we just can't pick up and move. But what do? We're going to activate that corner of our living room. So that's where you could focus your energies, because your living room acts as a smaller version of your whole house. It's called the small Tai Chi. All right, there you go. Well, let me leave you with 3 tips, as always. It's so important. Number 1, make sure you know where all your corners are, and if they're missing, or if they have elements that drain or reduce the element in any corner of your home. So important that you understand where those corners are, and that you identify them if they've got a problem as well. Tip number 2, make sure that you I like producing elements. So for instance, in the South, what produces fire? Wood. So if you want a big piece of furniture, put it in the south portion of your living room, and that will produce fire element. Lastly, number 3 is make sure that you feed your eyes to feed your heart. There's nothing that can take the place of seeing something beautiful, and whether that's visualizing in your mind, actually seeing and going places where you see beauty and you take in beauty, because it's good for your heart health. When you see beautiful things, your heart is happy. And I can't say enough about taking the time to fill your heart with beauty and lovely things to look at. It's good for your eye health. It's good for your heart health. It's just good all together. All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned something interesting and found this to be an interesting episode of 5 Minute Feng Shui. It sure was fun talking to you about it. Hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you next week.